my classic Dodge Ram has a serious brake fluid leak caused by this tiny part. Let's talk about it and fix it. This is Jason Explains Things. So about a week ago, I came out to drive my old Dodge here, and the engine fired right up. Everything seemed great. I was about to take off, and the moment I applied a little bit of pressure to the brake pedal, something felt very bad. What I found was brake fluid all over the place, and that's why this plastic bag is here to catch brake fluid that is coming, I mean, literally pouring out of the brake fluid reservoir. I'm gonna go ahead and try to, yeah, it's pooled in there, as you can see. Okay. Ah, crap. Oh, well, I tried. Oh man, this mess is bad. So this is obviously what I just spilled taking the trash bag out of here. And also you can see this rubber shield that kind of protects your engine bay from getting a bunch of grime and stuff in it. Over in that corner, it is completely like deteriorated away because obviously brake fluid has been dripping on that for quite some time. Obviously the main problem beyond having a mess is if you drive around with no fluid in your reservoir, you're going to add air to your brake system, and you're gonna have all sorts of problems, and obviously that could cause an accident. The lucky thing for me is I caught this issue before it was a catastrophe, right? And while it is a big problem and a big mess, it is not a huge job to fix. So what do you say? We fix this problem, and hey, we might as well fix a couple other things while we're at it. Gosh darn kids! Kid stuff! Well, now that we got the Dodge here in the shop and under the lights, we can see how big of a mess we're dealing with. Kind of embarrassing, honestly. It's a good reminder to myself and also to you guys, you know, if I don't drive this for maybe a couple weeks, just open the hood, look around before I just pop in and drive it like I did when I discovered this mess. Lucky for us, the part that's failed is probably the cheapest and easiest to replace. It's actually rubber grommets that connect your brake fluid reservoir to the master cylinder. Those in the right conditions can apparently deteriorate and go bad very, very quickly. And when they go bad, they kind of go bad fast, right? Because gravity is actually like causing it to leak. It's not just in use, it's just, it can sit there and leak a ton. Mine are actually about 7.5 years old. That's when the whole brake system was refreshed, and it was actually the second video on my channel. So anyway, we know what the problem is. We're gonna clean all of this up. Let's look at the parts. I'm going with a brand new brake fluid reservoir that includes 2 new grommets. I wasn't able to purchase the grommets alone locally, but several sellers do offer them alone. I'll talk more about this later, but the Napa grommets are actually superior to the stock style grommets because they include extra ridges that prevent leaks, at least for a longer period of time. You'll need some .3 brake fluid. Synthetic Prestone is good stuff and available pretty much everywhere. And I'm really excited about this. I got brand new frame rail splash guards. These are made by Detroit Muscle Industries. The quality of this kit is excellent. More detail in a few minutes. By the way, this video is not sponsored. I paid full price for all these parts and the detailing supplies I show later in the video. Everything is also listed and linked in the description, and using those links helps support my videos. Before removing the old reservoir, siphon out as much of the brake fluid as you can. Also, do not start or drive the truck until the job is completely done and the new reservoir is full. My big syringe tool missed a good amount of the brake fluid, so I used a fluid extractor. This tool is awesome. You can use it for oil changes, brake fluid flushes, tons of stuff. You can find a link to it in the description along with other tools I love to use. I think we got most of it. To remove the old reservoir, carefully pull up while rocking it side to side. Use a rag to catch brake fluid to minimize the mess. I'm gonna go and put the caps back on in case this, like I pull it and I don't wanna spray brake fluid all over my face. Got most of the mess with the rag. Cool. Now I'll get the last one. Oh, last one is, oh, whew, we got it. Let's suck the brake fluid out of this one really quickly.
Use a plastic pry tool to remove the old grommets. Then clean the area of any grime so the new grommets don't leak. Also, be very careful to not get any debris or contaminants inside the master cylinder.
Want to quickly compare the old grommet to the new grommet. So I'm actually very glad to see this. I did a little bit of research before starting this project, and apparently they can come in different designs, and that is exactly what we have here. So the old one, as you can see, has this one small ridge, and I'll get a close-up of this so you can see it, but it's very, very small. The new one has two large ridges, and apparently this design helps prevent leaks much better than this type does. So I'm very glad to see this. Hopefully this won't be an issue in 7 years. Hopefully it'll take longer than that. So let's put this one in.
I installed the two new grommets into the clean master cylinder. I didn't use any silicone spray or other lubrication because I don't want to risk contaminating the brake fluid.
I don't think there's much of a trick to this other than just shoving it down.
This took a good amount of force, but I was careful to not snap any plastic parts.
Now, one thing I wasn't sure of is how far down I was supposed to press this. So here you can see how far I pressed it down. So there's a little bit of a gap, and there was before. Earlier, the bottom, the front was a little bit lower than the back, but I've shoved it on there pretty good now. I don't want to break it. I think this is what it was before, and it does definitely feel a lot more secure than it used to be. So let's fill this up, make sure we're at the proper level, and then we can put the caps on and check for leaks. Next, I'm gonna hop in the cab, start the engine, and press the brake pedal a couple of times, get the system under pressure, and see with a camera here on a tripod if there are any leaks, and if there aren't, this is fixed and we can move on. Yes. Oh, sweet. Oh, good. Good.
Next, I ripped out the original splash guards, and they pretty much disintegrated when I touched them. But hey, 38 years is a good run. I wanted to detail the engine bay before installing the new splash guards. While waiting for the temperature outside to drop, I wanted to fix a couple small issues on the Dodge. First, I installed an OEM window crank that I found on eBay, since the original's knob falls off every time I use it. Another problem, my horn hasn't worked for years. I confirmed by using a jump wire from the positive lead on the battery that both horns worked.
Good horn.
I replaced the horn relay on the fuse block, but the horn still didn't work. I then disassembled the horn button and couldn't find anything wrong. I'm still stumped on this one, so leave a comment below if you have any suggestions on what troubleshooting to do next.
To get the engine bay clean, I'm using some pretty basic tools and supplies. Gunk engine degreaser. Once everything's clean, we can use the engine protector shine to kind of detail things a little bit.
The hardest thing to clean in the engine bay was the residue on the brake booster. For that, I'm using a wheel cleaner from Chemical Guys and metal polish from Blue Magic. I'm also using Simple Green, some brushes, scouring pads, and a pressure washer with the delicate spray nozzle. And while we're at it, let's wash the whole truck. Why not? One thing I should have done, put a plastic bag on the alternator. But the sun was going down and I was in a rush. If you want to learn more about paint restoration, including washing and polishing, I have a great video that I'll link in the description. The wheel cleaner did a good job getting most of the stuff off the brake booster, but after a second pass with the metal polish and a scouring pad, it looks fantastic. Final step for the engine bay detail, spray it down with gunk engine protector and wipe everything with a microfiber towel. Final results are coming up. Hey, well, it's the next day, just pulled the old Dodge back into the shop. Last night, couldn't get everything done, ran out of time, sunlight, energy, and it was also Father's Day, so I wanted to take a break. But everything in the engine bay is looking fantastic. The fact that it looks as good as it does, it's not perfect, but it looks so much better than it used to. What do you say we put in these new rubber shields from Detroit Muscle? Comes with new clips, and after that, this will look fantastic. The splash guards are a breeze to install. Most of the mounting holes lined right up. Some weren't used. On the passenger side, you need to trim off the back portion of the guard. Apparently, it's longer for the W series four-wheel drive trucks. Mine is a two-wheel drive D150, so you just cut off that back portion. No trimming was required on the driver's side guard. The kit came with more than enough clips, so now I have spares.
By fixing that brake fluid leak, doing the new splash guards and all the detailing we did last night, it is so cool to see this engine bay look this good. And I dare say in the 7.5 years I've owned this truck, I have never seen it look quite this nice. So to you all, thank you so much for coming back to my channel to continue watching videos in the old Dodge series. I know I don't do it that often, but I love doing it, and every time I can, I do. And I do have 2 other videos planned for this truck in the near future. We're gonna do a full tune-up how-to video with oil change, spark plugs, wires, and also we're gonna be doing new upper control arms here in the front. I did address those 5 years ago, but I had to use aftermarket ones, and now that I've sourced good OEM refurbished parts, we're gonna swap back to stock, and I'm very excited about that. So thank you all again so much. God bless all of you, and don't forget to do it yourself.